Welcome to IBFU. I'm Coach, and I'll be fed up. Today, I'm going to talk about the climate scam. What? Oh no, it's climate change. You can't call it a scam. You can't call it. How can you possibly call it a scam? You're going to kill the earth. Well, I can call it a scam because I'm not stupid. Oh, you just call me stupid. No, it's just the whole thing is stupid. And I pay attention. Now, I be fed up with these people trying to convince us that of all these dangerous things. It's always in the next 10 years. Okay. Every time they come up with something new. And it's urgent. We got to do all this. And Al Gore lied to us about everything. And every time he come out with another lie, he made, millions and millions of dollars. And it's just, let's look at some history. In the 60s, in 10 years, we're going to be completely out of oil. And there's not going to be any oil left on the planet. We're not going to be able to drive our cars. We're not going to be able to make electricity. So we're not going to have any air conditioning. We're not going to be able to heat our homes because we don't have any electricity. We don't have, well, we still pumping oil more today than we ever have. And in 1960s, in 10 years, we were going to be out of oil. A lie. Okay. Now, I'll be fed up with the next one, 1970s. Okay. What went on in the 70s? In 10 years, we're going to be back in another ice age. Oh, the whole planet's going to be so covered with ice, we're not going to be able to do it. And okay, I'm still waiting for the ice age. Another lie. Never happened. They knew it wasn't going to happen. The 1980s. Acid rain. It's going to come in the next 10 years. Acid rain is going to kill all of our crops. And we're not going to be able to eat because we're not going to have any food because farmers aren't going to be able to grow anything because of acid rain. Well, there's a reason I only show from here up, because you look at my belly, you're going to find out I'm still eating. So that lie never happened either. I'd be fed up with them. And you ought to be too, because it's just, they keep lying to us about stuff and they keep making up stuff. So that was the 80s. The 90s. What about the 90s? The 90s was the ozone layer. We had damaged the earth so bad that we've ripped a hole in the ozone, and the ozone layer was going to be completely gone in 10 years. And that was going to destroy the planet because we couldn't, all these things are going to happen. Okay. Then, 2000, early part of 2000, the ice caps are going to be gone. Really? Ice caps are going to be gone? I went to Alaska a few years ago. They were still there. I mean, we still had glaciers. Another lie. But we're supposed to, just panic over this because the ice caps are going to be gone. Oh, and Al Gore told us that when the ice melted, it was going to raise the level of the oceans to the point that everything south of Orlando was going to be underwater by 2012. I got some friends that live in South Florida, and they're going to get hit by hurricane stuff, but they're still there. And they're not having to swim. It's not like Venice where all the streets are water and the buildings are on flotation devices. And oh well, guess that was another lie. I mean, if everything south of Orlando is going to be underwater, Miami's gone. Hmm. Seems like it hadn't been just a week or less. Uh, Miami Dolphins played a ball game. They weren't swimming to play that game. University of Miami played a ball game. They weren't swimming to play their football game. Just another lie. Okay, so now we got climate warming. Climate warming is going to cause all these things. Okay, now I tell you when I just, after a while, you just kind of get where you're just immune to all this garbage they tell you. So, I just listen to all this stuff and I just let go in one ear and out the other. Okay, so let's look at some facts. Okay, fact is that when God made the earth heals itself. Okay, and the you're going to have, and sometimes things change. It's called natural order of things. And so the climate will go up for a few years, the average, temperature. And then the average temperature will go down a little bit for a few years. And then it'll go up a little bit, and then it'll go down a little bit. It's called nature. Okay, so all these people talking about this stuff. And so I remember this article I wrote. We had a year that we didn't have very much snow, and the ski resorts had to bring in machines to make snow so they could survive their, and keep their business open. And one of these experts said that just get used to it. We're never going to have any more snow because of climate change. Global warming is just, there's not going to be any more snow. So a few years later, they quit calling it global warming because they couldn't sell that anymore because people got wise to it, so they could call it climate change. Now, we had a year that we had so much snow that they had, built in the north, they had buildings collapsing from the snow on the roof just created such problem that some of their buildings, the roofs caved in and different things. They used to have massive amounts of snow. Again, so much for never going to be snow again. So then the same guy comes out and says, well, get used to it. Climate change is going to cause us to be covered in snow in the United States year round forever. I don't know exactly what year it was, around 2014, 16, somewhere around in there. It was 80 degrees here today, and I did not see any snow on the ground. Oh, well, must have been another lie. And then I heard one of these guys, one of these experts, that claimed that we were headed into this massive global warming that was about to take place. And the global warming was going to cause us to go into another ice age. Now, you stop and think about that. The Earth is going to heat up so much that the entire world is going to get covered with snow. I'm not a genius, but I do know that those two do not go together. I mean, that is about the dumbest thing I ever heard. And this is a guy with like 14 degrees or something. I mean, like, really? You're gonna and actually get on national and television in front of a news camera and everything and say that with a straight face. And they wonder why I'd be fed up with them. So Trump got elected in 2016, 2017. He took us out of the Paris Climate Accord. Trump's going to destroy the planet because he's a climate change denier. Okay, 2000, and he eliminated a lot of the regulations. He just stripped down the regulations that we had on our energy system and on. He opened up the coal plant, electric power plants that use coal. He opened up the coal mines and all these things going to do. And most people don't understand this, but in 2017 was the first year since they started talking about all this garbage that the emissions in the United States went down for the first time ever. So their argument just blew up. I mean, it's just okay. And so all these people that are talking about climate, Al Gore. Okay, Al Gore is just panicking that the world's going to come to an end if we don't do something about climate change. But he's so panicky about climate change and about our emissions that he flew to Paris on a private airplane and wouldn't let anybody else go with him. They had to bring another flight behind him to bring for anybody else that was going. Leonardo DiCaprio, oh, he so loves the planet and we're going to kill it and all that. Private plane. Okay, and went over and all these people go over in their private planes and then they have to drive, I don't know, 50 to 100 miles, all of them in these SUVs that get about 5 miles to the gallon. They're real concerned about the planet and their emissions, aren't they? And I mean, don't get me wrong. We shouldn't, change the oil in our car and just let the oil run out of the brain. We shouldn't, do all that. We shouldn't do stupid stuff, and we shouldn't dump waste into the ocean, and we shouldn't. I mean, all this sort of stuff. Okay, so we got to be kind of smart about what we do, but climate change is a way for certain people to make a lot of money on other people's panic and obsessions. Okay, and carbon offsets. I mean, don't even get me started on carbon offsets. What does that even mean? Okay, and so I'll be fed up with all the fake climate stuff. I mean, we're going to run out of oil. We're going to run out of, we're going to be an ice age. Acid rain is going to destroy everything. We're not going to be able to eat. The ozone layer is going to disappear. And, the ice caps. Oh, yeah, the ice caps and the glaciers are going to go away. We'll go to Alaska. You can still see them. They're still there. Another thing about the ocean rising because of the ice, take a big bowl, fill it up with ice, pour water in it, fill it all the way up to the rim. You got some ice sitting up there. Set it out on the counter. Let the ice melt. Amazing thing about ice, see, water expands when it turns to ice. When it melts, it shrinks the volume of it. So if you do that if all the ice up there melted, the water level in the ocean would go down. It wouldn't go up. And you can do your experiment. Just put ice in a bowl, fill it up, check the level of it on the bowl. When all the ice melts, see how much water's in it. It's not going to be more water than was in it when you started. Thanks for listening. This is Coach, and I'll be fed up.